City being here indeed. Hello everyone and welcome back to Age of Nagash, which is a channel dedicated to Age of Sigmar, and in this video what we are going to do is be doing a bit of a hobby hangout and chat to you guys in the comments. So anyone who's watching this video later on, let us know what you're working on in the comments in these like hobby hangout Fight the Grey series, trying to get down onto your pile of shame, your backlog, your nemesis of the grey as it was, and see how much you can get done during this video. So if you're watching this on demand, let us know that in the comments later. But if you are watching this live, let us know what you're working on. Hope everyone's very well. And with no further ado, I am happy to welcome Luke, who is a regular now in Age Nagash. He's almost like an employee, but you know, there's not enough money for one of us, let alone two. So I mean, I can pay you in.
That just makes me an intern, doesn't it?
What's that?
That just makes me an intern, doesn't it?
Honestly, when you put this on your CV, I mean, employers will be lining up for the. I mean, just say you designed a website for me, and then that'll help. But no, so yeah, obviously Luke was with us as well, Yasmin, when we did the long good video on the 3rd edition box set Dominion for Age of Sigmar 3rd edition. So that was a good chat, but because obviously that took up so much time, nice to actually get on and do some painting in this video. And I'll personally be working on my, have got the name for it somewhere, hang on, I've got it on a card, the Dread Pageant, which is the Sinesh warband for Warhammer Underworlds. Played my first game Warhammer Underworlds yesterday in real life. Fantastic. Yeah, really good. It was one of those where the first hour was reading through a rule book, which is never as fun, but I was doing it with my mate, so you know, probably that's why it took an hour, to be honest. But after we did that, we had our first game of Underworld, and it was really good. And I never thought I'd have that much fun with like 8 models on the board, because I had my Sinesh warband, he had his Lumineth one from the Diachasm box set that we bought. I think when it on pre-order we bought it, and we've only just been able to play it, so it was good fun. And I have got all
how those things happen.
Exactly right. Well, I think to be honest, we pre-ordered it and then we waited like a month for it to deliver anyway. So I think that was the problem. So I am painting. I've got their names, got these cards. Just try and help me. Anyone who's watching this video, let me know what you're working on during it, and I hope you all are well. And I'll be working on. What army has the easiest names to pronounce? Probably I should just start collecting iron jaws, shouldn't I? Right. So we have got Hadzu. We have got Hadzu, who is the archer of the warband. So we have done. I keep on saying we. I don't know why. It's only one of me. So I wish I had someone else to help me paint. That'd be amazing. But it's just me. But I have done about 80% on this. If you watch the hobby hangout when I did with Dice Sagas, you will know that I basically all I did was base coat all 4 of these models in about 2 hours. So I'm hoping I can actually finish one of this video. That'll be good.
Be good, yeah.
Exactly. I'm just going to read. We've got Volgoff in the chat saying, I pre-ordered the start collecting Soulblight Gravelords from my local shop. Still hasn't arrived. First army, hoping it arrives soon. So not painting anything yet. Right, so I know this Soulblight Gravelords start collecting box was like in the 2nd wave of their releases, but I can show you this. This is my Soulblight Gravelords Battletome. That's literally only just arrived.
Yeah, I was going to say, you've been waiting for that.
Yeah, and you can see it's like sync, you know, what's it like, sync wrapped. That's how much time I've had to open it. So I've been doing a lot of research waiting for this to come up online and stuff for you guys. But I've actually got the book finally, and I always say that I can't do a proper review unless I have the Battletome or something. So that's finally here, as well as the dice and the War Scroll cards. But what I was going to mention is obviously it took this long to turn up. I pre-ordered this like 2 weeks ago? It came out that Battletome, or pre-ordered it. Yeah, so a long time. We've got Arnold saying good evening. Good evening, buddy. Hope you're doing well. Let me know what you're working on, and thank you as well, because you sent me a price list as well this morning for some Games Workshop stuff, and it let my buddy know how much the INF Deacon warband was. The buddy I was playing Warhammer Underworlds with yesterday. So thank you for that, Arnold. And then we've got Retail Mike, who I know was We joined in the chat when we went through the 3rd edition box sets, and I see you again. This evening, chaps, tuning in from the UK. Fantastic. North Hampshire. That's above. That's in the north, isn't it, Luke?
Oh God, you and your geography.
Look, anyway, I'm from Kent, so anywhere above London is the north. Ideally, for me, the River Thames. Like if you're in North London, I imagine the temperature drops by about 10 degrees. So anyway, sounds like a lovely part of the country. This is working on my first box of Stormcast Judicators and finishing touches to some Liberators. That's cool, and just in time, obviously, if you're interested in the new stuff. I think we had a lot of people chatting on Saturday in the chat for the video we did, but I think you said that you were getting the new box set if you can, the Dominion one. Let me know. But no, that's cool. Always like adjudicator models. And then we've got Poet as well, who is amazing, lovely chap. When we always do this, who always chucks a little bit of support towards the channel. So I do really appreciate that, Poet. With $3.99, that's amazing. That's how many avocados is that, Luke?
$3.99. How much do you pay for an avocado these days? It's like £2 something. So yeah, about an avocado.
An avocado has 370 calories in it, so like it's generally a really good source of way to survive on a budget. And then Arnold's got posted a picture on in the Discord just now. Productive evening today. We'll check that out. And just for anyone watching this, I should be doing this more, and I've been doing it more often now. Need to advertise the Discord because it's an amazing community. We've got, I don't know, I'm going to chuck a ball number of at least 270 people in there now.
Last time I checked, we were on 261. So yeah, you were
260, yeah. So well, I was being optimistic, wasn't I? But no, so we've had got a lot of people in there. Like, I think a year and a half ago, it's like 3 of us, I think. So really buzzing. I think, yeah, and I think mainly like we've got all sorts of people, but I think there's like a huge painting side to it. And to be honest, I think I started mentioning the Discord when I was doing these hobby hangout videos. So it's like a fight the grey motivation. There's a whole chat on that in the Discord. So yeah, definitely join. There's a link to my Discord in the description of this video. So definitely do that if you'd like to. And I'll check that out in a moment, Arnold. And then we've got Ben Courtney saying anywhere south of Sheffield is the south. Wow.
Cool. We've got north-south divide going on here.
That is conflict. I mean, to be honest, you can have everything above that. I'm not really bothered. Although I do fun.
I'm north of Sheffield.
Yeah, but you know, I mean,
I'm not from here, so I'm not sure that counts.
Oh, from well, you're French, aren't you? As we have the French army on the screen now. Sorry, I've got to read out what Poet said. So it says, Stormcast blisters, love, enjoy these. Well, that is pretty cool that you're working on those. I've never gone into the store and picked up a box and bought them, but I think I own about 3 from like Soul War, like Rail magazines. So I think I own loads. But yeah, they're quite fun. As long as I can turn something Slaves Darkness. And the Poet saying, as a main Stormcast player, I had my pick between 4 people asking me to split Dominion. Whoa.
There's going to be a lot of that going around.
There's going to be a hell of a lot of that going around. And there's also going to be, you know, I hope, Poet, that you didn't just like straight away go, yeah, sure, I can help you out. I hope you know you're making them work for it specifically. So yes, that's cool. And also, I have decided that I will more than likely be buying the Dominion box set. So that's cool.
Ooh.
Yeah. So
I suppose it gives you the Stormcast to convert up for your Slaves to Darkness. And then what are you going to do with the Uruks? You splitting it with someone, or what's going on there? Well,
the interesting part of it is I haven't really bought any models for like 18 months properly.
No.
So I just want to chuck that out there. So I've been really, really happy. It's not like my income's gone up in 18 months, but really, really happy with that. Then, like, so I need the new core rulebook because I want to play Games Age Sigma, and mainly for you guys doing YouTube videos, I need it rather than just giving you guys a load of shit and telling you the old rules. Which, you know, if you guys are open to that, that would be cheaper. That would be good.
Honestly, I want you to repost your How to Play Age of Sigmar 2.0 series on the day 3rd edition comes out, and just see how many views it gets.
That would be Well, you know what I should do. You know what I should do, don't you? Not repost them, but just say updated 3rd edition, and change the thumbnail. Yeah. And that'll be enough.
Oh, the number of views it would get. Oh,
so those why play videos, I've done my best, as I try and do with most of my content, to make it as evergreen as possible. So when I do those videos, I do much more of like a summary, apart from when you go to like specific sub-allegiances and stuff. So those why play videos should still be relevant going into 3rd edition, unless they go, you know what, you don't play with models anymore, and then it's like, well, I'm fucked. But
I can't quite see that happening, but yeah.
Yeah, so I was going to say, I'm going to read the chat in a moment, but I'm just going to finish what I was saying about the Dominion box set. So I want this book so I can review everything else. And then I'm like, the Dominion box set, it's just, again, I might not be able to get it because, you know, I didn't press the button within 0.111 seconds or whatever. But if I can get it, it's going to be such good value. Because, like I said, that book's about £30 at least to buy separately.
The core rule book?
Yeah, at least.
They usually 50?
I don't think so. I think maybe in fantasy. But anyway, so let's say £30 at least from a third-party retailer. So that's £30. I say this box set is expensive. Let's say it's 140 at most, roughly. So then that means that I'm paying £30 for that book separately. So then that means that this box set is £110 for all those models. And then I'm going to split it with a friend who I was playing Underworlds with yesterday. And that means that now the contents of that box set for those armies is split, obviously in 2. So if we're saying this thing's £140 and then £30 for the rulebook, you're looking at £55 for each half of the armies. And my mate wants Stormcast stuff, and I'm decided to I'll pick up the Orcs and have a Destruction Force. So that's be very different. I think it's the Destruction Army that probably also new shiny models syndrome, but I think it's very cool and feels very different, which it's appealing quite a lot to me. That army, like especially like the crossbows and stuff, like, and some range shooting for destruction. Like, funny enough, it'll be like my shooting army, kind of. But
you're finally jumping on the shooting meta just as 3rd edition comes out and destroys the shooting meta. Exactly.
Well, I imagine those crossbows are like 5s and 5s. That, you know, just for fun. But so what I've also decided though is like, so my mate hasn't definitely said he is going to go halves, but he thinks he will be. But the way I'm looking at it as, even if he doesn't, I will definitely, not sounding like a scalper, but I will definitely be able to sell the Stormcast half for half the price of the box set. So do you know what I mean? I'll be able to definitely not lose out on money. And I'm not saying buy fucking 5 and sell them profit and stuff. I'm just saying, like, it's just too good value. I might not even be able to get it, but it's been, yeah, exactly. It's been quite exciting to decide to get it. And it'd just be nice to have some destruction stuff. I think I might even, I might not buy more of the Orcs and stuff. It might just be a case of like play it for like let's say roughly there's like 700 points in that box for the Orcs. It might just be like it's like for like small narrative games and stuff. Could be fun.
Yeah. Well, even if you just get them, build them, paint them, and then play through the campaign that you get in the book, you'll have had a good fun afternoon with it.
Exactly, and that's what I'll be looking at doing. So that's my thoughts. So that's my opinions on the Dominion. I'm tempted. I might do a video on like why buy Dominion, but the only problem is I think people would like the video, but I don't think why buy Dominion. I don't think that's really a question. It's kind of like the people who want to buy Dominion, there won't be enough Dominion for you.
I was going to say, you don't want to build hype and then everyone be like, well, I couldn't get it anyway. So
exactly. Yeah. This is something what we said when we talked about it, right? Because there was a big discussion about, you know, well, is it a beginner's box set? Is it for, you know, players who have been in the game for a while? And it's and I'm not saying it's not a beginner's box set. It's a great beginner's box set, obviously. But the reason why I say it's not for beginners is not because that's how it's marketed, or the benefit you get from the box. The reason why it's not for beginners is because people who are brand new to this game are not going to know that you need to pre-order it within half a minute on the day of pre-order, and then it will never be available. So, like, a new person in August can't walk into a Games Workshop store and see stacks of Dominion on the shelf, and then the guy give him a demonstration of Dominion on the tabletop as like an intro game. You know, it sounds like that won't be a thing. So it's weird though, that because they always like to have that main Age of Sigmar or 40k box set all painted up and on the table to give example games, but with COVID it's not as relevant because there's not like gaming and stuff going on.
I don't know about your local store. Both my stores have just started doing that again now, like this last week.
Well, intro games are allowing games.
Yeah, they're not allowing games, but intro games. They're doing half-an-hour slots you book yourself in for, and you get an intro game and a model to paint sort of the very basics, and it's all sort of sculpted into like a half-an-hour session.
Yeah, I like the sound of that. That's all right. Live somewhere else. I like the sound of that. I'll be honest, I haven't been to my Games Workshop store since we've been allowed to go back to the store. I don't generally need to buy anything, and if I can get Dominion on a third-party retailer, I goddamn will do because I'm not paying the full price.
That's good. You want to talk about how difficult it's going to be to get a box? It's going to be hard enough to get it from GW. Third party, it's like less than half a second.
And also the problem with third party is that you could order it and it's gone through its checkout, and then they could email you like a week later saying, sorry, we weren't given the amount of orders we were promised.
As we were told, yeah.
And then you get your money back, obviously, but you're not getting your hand on that box.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a risk. I always say with things that aren't like,
because I know I'm pretty sure Yasmin and I said we're going to get it at this point. We're just ironing out the last couple of questions for ourselves. And we're kind of going with the thing of you're paying that, you know, somewhere between 20 to 15% extra than what you would pay at a third party for that security in the fact that you're getting the box. And you're not having to pay however much hike up it would be if you had to go for some scalper down the line if you really, really, really wanted it. But yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And just to connect back with the chat, so we had a few people talking. Yeah. So Mike is asking me, he's telling me that's the Midlands, lol. To redeem myself, my son wants to go Nighthaunt. At 9 years old, he feels confident to paint these himself, so I'm going to need your advice. Yeah, absolutely. The biggest thing,
Nighthaunt would be okay for 9.
Yeah, like the biggest thing I'd say is that with Nighthaunt, it's the generic way of painting it, especially to help a 9-year-old, is going to be spray it. Like I do Wraithbone, but you could do like any sort of white. Spray it that. Use contrast or washes, so like I don't know, like Druchii Violet if you wanted like something purple. Whatever you want to do, and then you want to put a fairly decent amount on the brush and then go over the model. So then that's just how you paint with washes and recesses. Like Games Workshop, Warhammer TV has done plenty of videos on how to do that. But the advice I would give you though with the 9-year-old is it's a case of making sure he's patient, because although it's easy to paint with the washes and stuff, it takes a long time for them to dry. And I'm not saying hours, but like, let's say I'm painting this belly dancer and I'm using washes, as you can see. Let's say I'm painting the bottom half all one color and I use wash to do it. I won't probably paint the top half. Certainly if I was a 9-year-old, I wouldn't paint the top half until the bottom half is completely dried. I would also say, do everything that's not a wash or a contrast paint first, because once you've put like a contrast paint or a wash to do like the ethereal green as an example, and then you go with the silver to paint the sword that the Nighthaunt Chainmaster was holding as an example, and then you put the silver onto the ethereal green, it's quite hard to fix that. But all I'm going to say is he's 9, so he's just aiming at getting the models painted. Like mistakes and all that sort of thing are more than expected and welcome. But the biggest thing I'd say is patience on that one. And it's in the Midlands as well, apparently, the Northamptonshire, which is, it's the north to me. So we have then got, Arnold saying, for your Dominion box then, give me €2. That is very nice. To be honest, that will go straight towards the Dominion box set. So thank you so much for that. And probably when I do the core rules, I'm sure Arnold is going to point out that the page I'm reading from actually is owned by Arnold to get that. That's like his share of the box. But no, generally, that's really, really kind of you. I really do appreciate that. Thank you so much, Arnold. And I know, like, again, you've chucked some money like towards the channel, these chats and stuff before. So I really do appreciate that. And it makes these things like, worth doing and everything. Gives me more money than YouTube does. So then Poet is saying, can we talk about how 40k gets beast snaggers? And then like a few weeks later, AOS immediately upstaged them again. Yeah, I mean, obviously, yeah. So, look, I mean, obviously, I prefer Age of Sigma to 40k. My channel's about that. Obviously, it's what I play the most. But I'm looking at a cabinet I've got like 3 painted Imperial Knights. I've got more Imperial Knights to work on. I've invested in 40k, and I do like 40k. But to me, it does always feel like, if I don't know, if I was a 40k player, I'd be annoyed because like you look at Age Sigma, they've had so many like cool new interesting different factions coming out for it. And 40k is just like every time it seems to get a release. I mean, I know you did say Orcs, but it just seems to be something for the Imperium, or like, don't get me wrong, Battles of Sisters look cool, whatever. But it just feels like every time I hear there's a 40k release, it's just like another bloody Battle of Sister model. I'm like, honestly, don't care. I thought they had their release like a year ago.
They got the Luminef treatment. They got a release and then a release and then another release.
Yeah, it bloody sounds like it. I'd say though, those Beast Nuggets, I do like those models for the 40k Orcs. Got a lot of love for those 40k Orcs. And again, like,
a lot of character. I do like them.
They have. And then the AOS ones, the AOS ones are like, I prefer AOS models absolutely. So I prefer the new AOS models and the Beast Nuggets and stuff. But I do like the Beast Nuggets, and I think they're quite different because like the Beast Nuggets are like the typical sort of Orcs that are like hunched over and everything, and it's almost like the new Orcs, the Cruel Boys. They're like they're back straight, and they've got obviously shorter legs, which is the main thing people pointed out. But yeah, it's a huge range coming for them, like just initially anyway. So yes,
I watched a video about the Beast, the new Cruel Boys earlier. And someone pointed out, if you look at most Orc models we've had prior to this, then, as you say, they're sort of very hunched and their necks sort of almost protrude straight forward from where their shoulders are. Mm-hmm. Whereas the boys, their necks are actually up on the top of their shoulders.
More like a human in that.
It's very humanoid in its shape.
Yeah, exactly. And I believe like Luke's got you got a degree in aerospace biology, haven't you?
Oh yeah, totally. Yeah.
Exactly. But no, yeah, so it is interesting. And I, the 40k upstaged again. And then we got Vorgoth saying, I heard Arcan the Black isn't in Soulblight. Is he only for Nighthorn or OBR? Was he killed off in the story? Anyone know? I can confirm Arcan is not dead. And he is just in Ostrich Bone Reapers. So that is why he isn't in Nighthorn as an example. He is narratively as well. He's made for Ostrich Bone Reapers. Kind of feels like Nagash, but I know Nagash is in Soulblight and stuff as well. But yeah, that's where Arcan is. He's very. It was he was originally a Tomb King. He wasn't a Tomb King back, I suppose, when he was. Whatever, he was from that part of the world, so it's quite different to the Soul. But then you can say Neferata. Okay, I'm not going down that rabbit hole. Basically, he's Ostrich Bone Reapers, but you can still play him if you're like that. He's not killed off or anything. Don't worry, he does work very well on Ostrich Bone Reapers if you have got that army.
Run him in No Myriad, you're going to have a great fun time.
Yeah, exactly. Especially if your opponent goes, "Oh, the only armies I have are Zeech and Seraphon," and you go, "Right." So and then Stence saying, I think he's just Ostrich Bone Reapers now. Yeah, he is. I think Legion of Nagash is still legal technically, but you wouldn't. And then you got Rachel Mike again saying it's the knobheads on eBay, so probably talking about scalping, trying to make a fast buck. We have to watch out for. I think GW tried to sort this out on Indomitus. At the end of the day, GW does not care if everyone fairly gets a share of those boxes. They just care that they sell. Yeah. But at the end, I mean, ideally, like new players into the hobby because they need new blood all the time. That's absolutely true. But at the end of the day, they want to sell box. I mean, the question is, why don't they just print more? Because it's just printing money at that point because people will buy it. That's what I don't understand the logic.
It's because you're creating that demand. And I think that's why they never announce that they're going to do made to order art until after it's already sold out. Because everyone will go, oh, I really want that. Oh, there's only so many. Then they don't get it. And then Games Workshop try and turn themselves around to be the good guys going, you know what? We know so many of you wanted it. It sold faster than we expected. Tell you what, just for you, we'll do made to order. And then everyone who didn't get it feels special and goes, oh, go on then, I'll buy it.
GW cares so much about me. I don't know if I won't bank on them doing made to order this time though, because they made a lot of comparisons to Indomitus, but they didn't mention made to order. What I'd say, and then we got Ninja from the Discord saying, "Evening lads, hope you're doing well as well, Ninja. Nice to have you here." And then we've got Mike again saying, I'm a pretty solid painter, so I will be giving him a hand, but to his credit, he is doing well. He's done a lot of his new Necrons himself, but good advice, many thanks. You're very welcome, Mike. I mean, I was going to say, I've never taught like a 9-year-old paint, but I suppose like I was release staff for a bit at my local GW, and you had to do like intro stuff. And the biggest thing I'd say with kids is just try your best to be patient. Well, for them to be patient and also for you to have patience with them is a big thing as well. And then Arnold saying, sounds fair. Cheers. Sorry, Arnold, can't remember what that was relevance to. If it's about the page you're going to get from my core rulebook, though, yeah, 100%. I'll let you choose the page. And then you've got Ninja saying, old orcs got serious gamer neck. Yep. So these are, I honestly think these orcs are, they just decided, you know what? Instead of just having the war, like they're saying that they're silent, because they've had that silence, they've had thinking time, haven't they? So they can think out strategies and just take things more seriously.
Orcs are evolving, and we should all be scared.
Yeah, like honestly, like these are scary times for this. It's quite interesting, though, isn't it? Because when they make it sound like orcs are the new threat, like or these like these Urukai, as people are calling them. Are the new threats. I do feel like, how can they be the threat when like chaos is a thing?
Particularly as they even said in the video, it's like chaos has won. It's not like we're talking we're going to hold back the tides of chaos like in the old world. No, they've won. They destroyed everything. We're trying to eke out some small existence in the realms.
Oh yeah, like chaos have like destroyed everything twice. They destroyed the old world and they destroyed the realms.
Yeah,
like honestly, they are. I'm gonna do some pain now. They honestly are like the realms are a black sea of darkness with a few lit candles of civilization, very faint, like the stars amongst space, kind of thing. Which I think is really quite interesting. When you see it, and there's the Slaves of Darkness battle tome, I think that features a page which shows like Hammerhall, but how tiny it is compared to all the land that's controlled by the forces of chaos.
Yeah.
Which I think is really quite cool. What else we got? Stence is saying he is a strong bony boy, so he must be in OBR. Soulblight is for the ones with weak bones. I mean, that's pretty it. I mean, maybe it's a milk issue, not getting enough calcium and stuff.
And then it's all about vitamin D with them.
Exactly. It is dangerous. What was it like? I think I saw a meme the other day where it's like, so you can only come out in moonlight, you can't go in the sun. Yes, but isn't the moonlight a reflection of the sun's light? And it's like, wait a minute. And then the vampire just melts away. And the Ninja saying it's all good. How are you doing? I'm all right, mate. Thank you. Just painting out my Slanesh warband for Warhammer Underworlds. And then he is asking
he's asking what I'm painting.
Well, I don't think you've said. You told me it was something new, but you didn't say what.
I'm painting a Knight Incanter for my new Cities of Sigmar army to go alongside the other one I've not finished.
Well, that's good.
No, I'm doing the oh my god, the names escaped me. The city that came in the Techless book.
Settler's Gain.
Settler's Gain. Yeah, I'm doing a Settler's Gain.
That's cool. And obviously painting differently, like you say.
Yeah, I'm painting it up differently. So I'm gonna go for a sort of just classic Stormcast colors. So I'm going for the gold, the blue, and everything. Because I think that works quite nicely with the classic look on the on the Lumineth and everything. So the Lumineth archers and I'm going to do Phoenix Guard and stuff. So them all in the gold and the blue, I think will sort of mirror up quite nicely. I've just seen that Yasmin's listening. I have not forgotten that you're listening. I have already told you that I was working on these.
It's a need, it's not a want, from what I've heard. But no, so that's pretty good. And then we've got Ben saying Beasts of Chaos are the true threat. I mean, the Beasts of Chaos battle tome was one of the most interesting battle tomes I've read, because in that basically is a history of the mortal realms and how the beasts were there first. And they see the realms and what they do in the realms. It's the natural state of things. And then when Sigma tries to introduce order into the realms, that's changing the natural world, which you can kind of understand. And that's their like philosophy, if you will. But yeah, Beasts of Chaos, cool. And then just saying the new orcs look like they have dragged Lord of the Rings orcs into AOS. Yeah, they do. Yeah, I think that's definitely the common thing that people picked. It doesn't matter where you are in the world. That's the common thing that people have picked up. And I think, like I said earlier, like the orcs in AOS are called Uruks. Like someone said this before I did, obviously, but then obviously Uruk Kai. So they could have called them that because it's a different spelling, but sadly not. But no, they feel like more, I don't want to say realistic, but they look more serious, those orcs, for sure. Like we said, it's reflected in their lore. And then Mike is saying, I was lucky enough to grab that Sorrow Morn choir set to start Night Haunts. That's the one from Be'lakor, I believe, with all the banshees and stuff. Lady Olinda.
And you got Olinda as well. It's quite surprising that you got a Mortark.
Exactly. Yeah. Not a bad box set, that. And he says, I've looked at the Mortal Realm subscription to fill it out a bit more, which works out better than an eBay Soul Wars. Yeah, Mortal Realms is the cheapest way to do Night Haunt if it is available in your country. If it's not available in your country, I'm so sorry. That's basically all I had to say with that. And then
UK based, I am looking forward to get rid of a whole load of Night Haunt right now.
Yeah, well, go on the Discord and ask Picard if you want Night Haunt. And then obviously, like I said, Yasmin's listening. And then we've got Mike saying, I'm looking at grabbing key units from Mortal Realms, subs on characters and full units. Any specific recommendations? For Night Haunt, like Blade Geist, are we talking like what's good in the game? Blade Geist are good. Chain Rafts you can get for really cheap, potentially. Characters you want, so like Spirit Torments, Guardian of Souls, those sorts of things. It says, I'm trying to include as many of the kits from your video auto includes. Yeah, so I think I'm trying to remember what I said in those videos. But yeah, I mean, it's a little while ago. Do so much videos. But I believe I said Guardian of Souls, Spirit Torment, because of the buffs they give you, the synergies, and then you've got the Blade Geist, because it's probably the best overall unit, and then the Chainmail Swords are very useful. There's also the new guy, the Painbringer. It's not his name, but the new like torture guy for Night Haunt that I've heard a lot of Night Haunt players have been saying that he is very useful when they've used him. So that's something to think about as well, but he's not in the Mortal Realm magazines. And then Poet is saying, Gordrak, since first edition, I've been destined to lead the biggest war in the realm's history. Then Crackness allow me to introduce myself. I do agree. I feel like Gordrak didn't really do anything apart from his origin story. And then Crackness just comes. So I do agree with that, what you say there, Poet. Be nice if Gordrak had better rules and was more meaningful in the lore. And then Ninja saying, look forward to seeing some pictures. Oh no, is that photos or prices you're talking about? And then Yasmin's saying they are proper Uruks. Yes, they are. Uruks are meant to have short legs as well. And then Stence is saying, I feel like there would be outrage from the Lord of the Rings fans if they call them that. I wouldn't be too pleased either. I think it's a bit of fun. To be honest, I can see why people who are really invested in the lore would be annoyed, but I think it's a bit of fun. And orcs are all about fun. But then again, these orcs are more serious, aren't they? So it is different.
I suppose that's an interesting sort of just a topic of conversation of where to take it. It's like Uruks have always been that faction where I know we discussed that destruction needs more of a purpose other than go smash and hit, but they do have that. That's been what's kind of fun about the Uruks is it is just the I'm gonna hit it, and then this is bringing sort of a new dynamic to them. It's like is this a good direction for Uruks?
But it's not just a question of it's good direction, though, is it? 'Cause it's like there still are the orcs that go smash.
True.
These are like the things that I've been saying about where it's nice to just give another example of if you want to have orcs with more of a purpose rather than just smash. It's just something I've been thinking about, but I'm sure an Andres player would be happy to have not even an argument with me, but just like a one sentence about why go smash is the best way, and that's all you need. Like, I wouldn't be right, and they would be right. But it's interesting for me because I'm always. I mean, I do like the lore, obviously, of all the destruction forces at the moment because it's a lot of fun. But I always it's like Slaves of Darkness. There's so much character to every single model in the lore and everything else, how it works, path to glory and everything else. And with Death, there's so much character and lore there and stuff, and so much ambition in the models that I feel like my armies, I do really like there to be a drive behind the narrative for them. What about yourself, Luke? And anyone else who's listening as well? Is there any destruction players who are listening and they like their armies that just go smash, or do they like them to try and have a goal in their mortal realms life or what they want to achieve?
I don't know, because I've got my my Beast Claw Raiders that I've been working on and everything, and whilst I've developed names for characters in my army and a bit of fun around that, I've never really thought of their purpose, as it were. So I don't know, maybe, I guess, but it's just something I've not really given a huge amount of consideration towards.
Well, you've got consideration time now, so get on with it.
Yeah, I will. I'll think on that while I carry on painting.
But yeah, I always feel like I like that bit more of a purpose. I think. But yes, so that's my thoughts, and that's why I'm quite very tempted with the new Cruel Boys, to the point where I say I'm going to get the Dominion box set more than likely. And anyone who's watching, because I see we've got quite a few people watching now, is there anyone here, well, out of everyone who's watching this, who wants to get the Dominion box set, the new box set for Age of Sigmar 3rd edition, or who doesn't want to get it? Because that's interesting to hear from you guys. Well, let's just pretend we can all get a copy of it. Let's just pretend that for a moment. Although there's only one in, like, at the moment, currently 18 people watching this currently. 1 in 18 of us gets it, and that's not a giveaway. Just to be clear.
Get your box. Yay, I got the box. 1 in 18. Someone goes, well, there's my copy. What do you mean? You said the giveaway. No. No,
that's not what I meant. I mean, do W want to send me one, and then I give it away. Everybody wins. That's not how it works. It turns out when you say bad things about Games Workshop and you're honest about them, they don't give you free stuff.
You don't get to do free stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird. It's weird, that, isn't it? It's funny. But well, there's a few people posted, so just scroll up a little bit. See what we got. So Ninja was referring to photos of them. Yeah, it will be cool to see that. And then Mike saying, thank you to me. Sorry for the questions. No, sorry at all, mate. You got any more questions to ask me? Obviously, I hope it's Warhammer related. If it's not, go check out the OnlyFans. And then we've had Snadder saying, all right, mate, I'm all right. How are you doing, Snadder? I mean, you've got Manfred as your profile picture, so that makes me think that you are a trustworthy person. And then we've got Poet saying, personally, I think destruction with general direction of the army as a whole, but with well fleshed out ideas of individuals is the best.
Sounds a bit like my Beastclaw Raider, whereas they haven't really got a direction other than just going smash, hitting what's in their way while they're trying to get away for the blizzard. But, you know, I've got character in the sort of actual people I've got in the army, you know, Gary and Larry, which you are keenly aware of their abilities.
Yeah, I mean, like we've had games, obviously Tabletop Simulator, but these two identity generated models on that tabletop simulator, your two units are more, your unit of 2 Mournfang riders is more dangerous than your unit, or than either of your units of 4, and I would say either of your units of 4 put together.
Possibly. Right. I mean, the unit of 4, one of the units of 4 today, because I was playing against Max, and they charged and took out an entire unit of 20 Lumineth Wardens in a single charge. Just ridiculous.
Yeah, I've always said good things about Mournfang.
But they're an absolutely brilliant unit.
Yeah.
6 wounds. That's what really helps them. They're chunky boys.
They are, because like you'll do 5 damage, and you don't, which is enough to kill most heroes, and you don't even affect the unit's capability at all. And then Ninja saying, nope. So that was about the Dominion boxer. That's fair enough, mate. That's cool. And then we have got Palm saying, wish I could just spend a huge sum of cash on Cowden Overlords right now. Laugh my ass off. You are a particular fan of Cowden Overlords, I believe, Luke. Is that true?
Hate them. Hate them. Yep.
Because they're very good. Don't listen to them. They're very good.
24 minutes. That's got to be some kind of record to table someone in 24 minutes. Oh my god!
I remember I played against someone, and I don't mean to say this in an arrogant way, but I played against someone. It was quoted that person is like that guy in my local area. I played against him, beat him within 5 minutes.
Jesus!
And that wasn't like he has no models on the board in 5 minutes, because that's impossible to play that quickly or something. But it was just like I did enough stuff that he couldn't get back on it.
Yeah.
But he was saying that, oh, well, if I won the priority, I might have been able to do anything. And I'm thinking, well, he can't. And I was like, you know what? I'll give him the priority. I beat him twice in a game. It was great fun. He forgot Flesh-Eater Courts can regenerate models. What an idiot. But it was
number 1.
Yeah, it was great. And then he went on to say that this was before the second battle time. This is like first edition. And then he went on to say how Flesh-Eater Courts are the most broken army in, I think, Age Sigma and 40k, which was an interesting take on it. And then, yeah. And this was about 3 years ago before the Terror Guys did what it does. And then we've got Tom saying you want it. That's cool. And then Poet saying that, yep. I'm in need me that Stormcast half. And obviously you've got 4 people. Are you going to buy 4 of them? And you're going to end up with so many Stormcasts? Presumably not, but you know, you are a legend. And then Stunner saying, don't need it. I like the new Sinesh. See, Gluttonous are awesome. Yeah, that's fair enough. Like, the thing is, with this box, if you do not want either of those halves and you don't want to sell them on, the only thing you get out of it is the core rulebook. So I do understand. And then what else we've got? We got Robert saying, hopefully I'll get it. I want it so bad, but we'll see. Yeah, that's it. And I think it's one of those things where if it comes out like before payday or something, and it's like people are like, I need to wait until payday, you won't get it. And that sucks. But that's, and I'm not saying that's what your situation is, Robert, but I'm just mean in general for people. And Palmer's saying laugh his arse off. Yeah, I mean KO. Somebody's only played against KO twice, and once was in when they were first ever released, and the other time I beat them because he failed the double turn. I don't think they're a problem at all. I think if anything, it's fun. So then
you're going to get to face against them again, and suddenly you'll realise whatever.
I'll never play another game of Age Sigma. And then that means that definitely can't happen. And then Mike says, I certainly want one, mostly for the Stormcast, but I've got to say the Cruel Boys really float my boat out of all the bad guy factions. I feel like that when it comes to just destruction, instead of like all the bad guy factions. But they're just like, it's just quite. It just feels like a different painting project as well. Like it's something I haven't really done. I'm saying, of course, I'm gonna get it. Good lad. Stence saying, I don't really want it because I still need more stuff for my Nighthaunt army. Luke, like, get in contact.
Yeah. I have a whole load of Nighthaunt I got to shift, so genuinely come on the Discord. So long as you're UK based, we'll talk.
I think Stence is on, pretty sure Stence is on the Discord. And Luke is Picard, as you can see on here. So if you want to message him or anything, but it'll probably turn out that Stence is not UK based. Plus, if we're to start a destruction army, it would probably be the Gits. Yeah, that's fair. I mean, they're fun as well, aren't they? I think with the Gits, me though, it's like the best things they have are just, you know, swarms of the grots, and I'm like, that's the least interesting thing for me in the army. I'd want all the swigs and trolls, which is apparently the worst thing to do. So, well, or spiders maybe, but anyway. And then I was saying, need a core rule book. Yeah, you do. I mean, core rule book will be available separately, of course. But again, you know, it's a really good value, that box. So if you kind of like the armies, and you get the core rule book, so it's kind of a no-brainer if you've got the money. Palmer saying, you either lose hard or win hard as KO. There is no in between. What's your ratio on it, Luke?
Sorry?
What's your ratio on that?
No, I feel like that's a completely fair statement. I wrote a KO list. I played against KO, and then went and deleted the KO list because I was like, I don't want to do that to other people. And I feel like that's a very bad statement. Is when you've written a list, you're like, oh, this seems fun. I'll play that. Play against something that's not even that list, and you go, yeah, no, I'm not doing that to other people. That's just right.
I can't be that. No, that's fair enough. But obviously, you're not criticising anyone. What sort of army people want to play?
No.
Whatever you want to do. But what was I going to say? I mean, there's some armies where you need to take things like that if you want to have like an enjoyable game.
Oh yeah, true.
For sure. Can't find Administratum grade, but I have got Mechanicus. They're not the same colour, but will my laziness defeat my attitude to try and find Administratum grade?
I've got one if you need.
Looking like a yes. I've got Dawnstone, that's brighter. That'll do. Everyone likes Dawnstone. I've been to Dawnstone. It's quite nice to be fair. Very sunny. Right, okay, and then we've got well, the name is Normax saying, what's up? Hope you're doing well, mate. You were in, I remember, when we did the video on Saturday. So nice to see you again. What's everyone working on as well? Because we've had quite a few people join and watch. Let me know what you guys are working on, because it's good to know that rather than the fact that I've only put one brushstroke onto my model since we started 47 minutes ago. So then we have Ninja saying, I'm tempted to buy it to split and sell, but past that, it doesn't really interest me. Yeah, I mean, like if it doesn't interest you, and you just want to make money, then you can do that, I suppose. But Ninja saying, I also ain't that much of an arse, which is the good thing I wanted to hear because I couldn't really defend the rest of your statement. And then Ben is saying, I mean, I have 100% win rate against KO as Beastclaw Raider. I've only just caught. This is Ben from the Discord, isn't it?
Yeah.
Did you know that?
You've only just worked out that it's Ben down the road from me.
Yeah, is that? I'm pretty sure Ben was probably the one who said something positive about Beastclaws earlier in this video as well. Yeah. Like, to be fair, I don't think Ben's lying about that either. Because I know he's beaten Seraphon with Beast of Chaos. So, like, that's.
I think he is possibly the UK's best Beast of Chaos player.
The UK's only Beast of Chaos player. But that too. That's it. But like, fair play to you. You know, bloody fair play to you. Because I mean, like, when I talked to, Ben also joined us for the it was a very popular video, which was my review on the elite Soulblight Gravelord War Scrolls and stuff, Battletome. So if you watch that, that's Ben from that. And one of the reasons I got Ben to join me on that video is because not only he was quite positive about the Soulblight Gravelords compared to a lot of negative people, but also I was like, Ben knows how to play armies where some of the synergies aren't right in front of you. So that was great fun. I enjoyed that video. But what else was I going to say? When I talked to Ben and stuff, and Ben just tells me about like, oh, how his like Bulgors just absolutely destroy things. I'm like, tell me more. Those are the sort of things I want to hear. Because when I review Bulgors, I'm like, these things can destroy everything. I'm like, I need someone with experience to back me up on this one. And then we've got a Boiling Hades saying, I would collect KAO, I think that's KO. But the gameplay seemed horrible. I mean, I would agree. Bo's then saying,
I think the closest thing I can compare a KO shooting round to is a Zinch magic round. You sit there, go make a cup of tea, paint a model, and they might be finished.
Yeah, but in 3rd edition, you have things to do, won't you?
Yeah.
I mean, spend a command point. What does that do? What's it gonna stop the enemy? You can either decrease their range by 1 inch. Oh, that's interesting. Or increase their range by 36 inches.
Hang on. What?
Could be interesting. But where are we next? So I just scroll up a little bit. So Poet said no, just the one for the Dominion box, I believe. I love the hoplite look and the new heroes. Like those are the coolest looking Stormcasts for sure. The new Paladins are mere. I agree. They look like cubes. Like sugar cubes or like ice. Just. Yeah, I mean the shields are cool. I'll give them that.
I'm working on an idea of how for them to not look quite so rubbish, but we'll see.
You just mean cut off the shoulder pads, really?
Yeah, I'm just going to cut off the bit that goes up behind their head, try and smooth that down so it just looks like really large shoulder pads, and I think that will work wonders for them.
It could do. It'd be interesting to find that out, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
You find that out, you buy it, and it doesn't work. Shit.
We'll see.
And then we have who we got next? The poet saying, sorry, blanking on her name. Oh, no, sorry. Oh, yeah, and then I didn't read all the comment. That's why. That would make sense. Hopefully it's not a undersized unit. Lol. He didn't say lol, but I'm just going to say it.
Oh, God.
Right, the shield guys, they come in units of 7, and you get 3, which is like, it's something stupid. But the main angel woman hero is just phenomenal. Sorry, blanking on her name. My caster is very cool. It's that's what I'm going to call. I mean, like, I probably won't fight one until like 3 years from now at a tournament. Okay, my pattern, like, obviously, will just think I'm an idiot. But that's it. And Stence is saying, "Yep, not UK." Again, I mean, to be fair, I've heard Luke is such a nice guy that he would cover all the postage costs, so then all the import tax as well. So to be fair, it's probably quite a good deal for you, Stence. So, no, I'm joking.
Yeah, no.
No. It's like if I had that much money to do that, I wouldn't be bothering about selling the Nighthorn anyway. But Palmer saying, I mean, most shortest faction in the entire game. If you like shooting phases and okay, so the shortest faction. Oh, the boiling heads. Okay, I'm gonna have to scroll back up. What was this? What was this in reference?
About KO.
Yes, it is. Yeah, they're shorter than fire slayers, aren't they? If you like shooting phases and double turns, go KO basically on that one. Stence is saying just watching 2 Dr. Pain, and we'll be going to bed soon. That's fair enough, man. I'm glad to keep you entertained while I don't paint my model. And then we've got Tom saying, Paint Marauders, the new Bellacore, then the massive Battle Force box I found at Warhammer World yesterday. Wow, that's a very cool painting project you've got ahead of yourself. And you're starting with the Marauders, which, to be honest, says a lot about you in the terms of like start with the ones that you are going to least enjoy painting, and then make your way up to you paint Bellacore next, I suppose. So, but that Bellacore model is one of the models that's came up from GW in the last year, roughly, that I can look at and go, just wow, like that's amazing. Like what?
Oh, there'd be an interesting one I'd like to hear. What are your favorite model releases for the 2nd edition? You need to do a top 10 model releases for 2nd edition.
top 10 model release. I mean, that's a good point. Would people? So who are we watching? We've got about 20 of you guys in here. Would you guys like me to do the top, in my opinion, model releases for Age of Sigmar in a video? If you guys would like me to, I will do it, as that's something I can do before 3rd edition, because that does not involve tactics at all. So I'm just trying to get something up on my computer that you guys can't see, and it's neither for you guys either. All bad. Where is she? Oh, okay, they paired it like that. That's fine. Cool. Back to the chat. It's been really good. Loads of you people are chatting today, which is cool. I was just got to talk to Luke, really, and I think the person who's got the worst do out of that is Luke. So you've done him a favor. And also that Battle Force box. I've actually got that Battle Force box, and I've got it in a drawer next to me, but it's too awkward to get out. But it is a good Battle Force box. So many models in that for these days. Starting to see you, Tom. Arnold is saying that I've been decorating GW pots to so moving GW paint from their pots to droppers tonight. Picking Discord. So no painting today. I mean, you'll definitely appreciate obviously doing that. I mean, I know when I wanted to do some hobby or something painting, I just spent that time sorting out my hobby paints and my stuff that sort out your paints and what you're needing over the next few months and stuff, so you can put all the other stuff in storage. Definitely massively helps and keeps you more motivated for when you paint later. And then Arnold is that's just what I read out. And then Ben saying, my Doom Ball killed 12 of Glenn's snakes in a single round. So Glenn is another person from the Discord, very nice person, and killed 12 of his. Wow,
that's ridiculous. Daughters of Cain is nothing to sniff at.
They're not. Absolutely not. To the point where I didn't want to play against them anymore. But Ben, you've got to be careful when you chuck these sort of things out, because otherwise GW will see this stuff and they go, right, Doom Ball, 400 points. It's not even 400 points; it's 400 points increase. So you've got to be careful with those sort of stuff. You want to stay below the radar, which I imagine Beast of Chaos has been doing for a fair while now.
I'm waiting to see Beast of Chaos come top at some tournament. And it's just all balls.
You're 25, aren't you, Luke?
26.
20. You recently turned 26.
Yeah, recently turned 26, yeah.
So you've got, don't want to predict anything here, but what shall we say, about 64 years left?
That's generous, but go on.
Well, I'm just saying, I don't know if we'll see Beast of Chaos win a tournament within that time. We've got to be realistic here.
Yeah.
No, obviously, I hope they do.
Yeah,
they deserve to. They do definitely say, Dawnstone's just not going to cut it, is it?
It's just
I have to mix it with white, because then I've got the exact proportions I need when I mix colors, and not write down what ratios I mix them with, don't I?
Always.
And then Robert saying, working on my amphibian destroyers. Gave that the best chance I had. Yeah, I'm joining a new hobby group, so I'm keen on doing Cruel Boys rather than carrying on with my Lumineth, as I want to make friends. I mean, that's just a good statement as it is. Yeah. Then next year, smash their armies. Yeah, that sounds cool, mate. And the Cruel Boys, will you, so here's a question for you, Robert. Will you be buying the extra boxes they have for the Cruel Boys, which is going to be that big artillery ballista and the big troll? Will you be buying those two, or are you happy just to stick with the box set for now if you manage to get it? And then we've got Thomas saying that painting Canary Life Takers. That's cool. I painted one myself, converted up for like a Sinesh thing. That's cool. Don't like them in the game. Horrible. Lost Catapult, 5 of them. Don't know how. But that's cool. And then so Tom again with the Slaves of Darkness saying, "Get them rewarded over with. Not the start of my Slaves of Darkness, but something I felt I had it. I hadn't buy. Something I felt I had to buy some eventually." I mean, that's fair enough. I mean, I'm still holding out for new models or conversions. But you know, get them done. Right attitude. So go.
I just wish they were nerfed. They don't need to be there. They're just far too powerful.
I mean, you fought them for ages, haven't you?
I've not fought them in a while, and I still know how good they are.
They're not that good, all right. They're just, you know, I mean, why you don't need to roll charges. You know.
Yeah, exactly. You're just automatically in.
And Gurkat is saying that she would like to see a video on the top 10 models. You guys know this is purely going to be from the Grand Alliance Death faction, don't you? Like, this is going to be a complete
I was fully aware of what was coming out.
It won't even be like I'll be struggling against the 10th one. I go, Hex Wraiths, always reliable, neither good nor bad in terms of looks. Like, they're just there. Like, they kind of survived aesthetically, and they're fine.
I mean, the true shock will be where somehow you try and work a Stormcast model in.
That's second edition, so it can't be from the new box set, can it?
No, it can't. Otherwise, you just go your Jester, because, like, even if you don't like Stormcast, she's a beautiful model.
I'll probably go Jacq.l, I reckon. I'll tell you what, I'll have a look. Or I'll do my... So second edition, shall we... Okay, I'm just going to read what rest, because, like... Because we're getting a lot of yeses here. Yes from Stence, yes from Rambo.
So the video's happening.
Arnold's way ahead of me. I didn't even read your comment, mate. It says only if it's death only. There will be one for you. And then Palm saying, yeah, do it. Robert saying, yes. Palm saying, War Scroll and all. I've probably reviewed every single War Scroll in this game. I'm not doing it again.
Yeah.
And then we've got Tom saying, yeah, it would be interesting to watch. And then Seption is saying, I'd watch a top 10 second edition model releases. Also, he is saying that I'd love to see a top 10 story developments in second edition. All that requires effort. That kind of I can look into that. I can think of something. I can look into that maybe. Something to highlight just how much the narrative has progressed. Because basically, we started second edition with the Soul Wars, and now we came to the end of the Soul Wars. There's the highlight. But no,
it really is. Not much has happened.
There is I'll have a think to see what I can do. If no video comes out, there's your answer. But I'll have a think for you. And then we've got Ben saying mutated Gnarl Blade, desolating Beast Herd, and some lucky rolls was how presumably his Doom Ball killed those snakes. I used to be like, I love snakes. You never see any Daughters of Chaos players take them. Yeah, they're really quite fun. They're different. And now I'm like, please tell me you brought Witch Elves, please. But Ben then says they already put the Beast Lord up, and then Poet is saying Beastman getting any points increases is insulting, and Poet did put something earlier, so I'm just going to read that now. So Poet says, please tell me you're kidding on that unit size for the new Paladins. I am kidding. That's not real. I mean, well, I hope I'm kidding. I mean, it's based on no information apart from what we got for Soul Wars. Do you know how big that unit size will be? No. Hopefully, units are 3.
Yeah.
That's what I've got. If not units of 3...
Maybe units of 6.
Or 5. Units of 3, 5, or 6 is what it will be. And the same for the Hellbird Stormcast in that as well.
I'm going to be a little disappointed if they're like units of 3, because that is the kind of thing where you want like nice large unit of halberds. But maybe I'm just.
People will complain about anything, won't they? We're all here like, oh, hopefully they're the right unit sizes in the box, and you're like, oh, but they are. It's a bit annoying, so I want more.
No, more than anything, I think I'm just projecting that Phoenix Guard onto them. It's like I want them in units of 30.
Well, Phoenix Guard are being discontinued, aren't they, at some point soon? So
don't say that.
I'm joking.
I need another 60. It's just not
At
fun.
least. We'll buy them now.
Dread the concept of painting 70 Phoenix Guard.
And why do it to yourself? You say you need it, but do you?
Yeah, maybe
No,
not.
I'm going to quit the hobby, actually. It's a waste of money.
You know what? You're right. Let me pack this up and go.
Goodbye, everyone. You know what? I could maybe have a mortgage put out.
We don't joke about that. You probably could.
Yeah, potentially. Where are we now? Ben saying that I have to choose between them. And okay, there's like a pause unnecessary. So I have to choose between them and Slanesh for September's tournament. I would say be Beast of Chaos because everyone will be there. And everyone, you see that Beast of Chaos player? That's amazing. Do you see how he won that game? Yeah, I mean that's great. So be Beast of Chaos and people will like you. Slanesh isn't really powerful now anyway, but Slanesh still got a bit of a stigma. I think maybe. But I mean more than Beast of Chaos. But yeah, go Beast of Chaos, Ben. Follow your bestial heart on that one. But obviously, Slanesh is very cool, of course. And then Robert's saying definitely be getting the other things as well. That's cool to hear then. So, I've got another question for you, Robert, just so you have to keep typing. Is what will you get first, or are you just going to buy it all at the same time? Will you get the Ballista first, or will you get the Troll first? Or what's your favorite out of the two, Rob? Let me know on that one. I'd probably say, the Troll's my favorite. I always like monsters, but the Ballista is really cool as well.
I actually think the Ballista's my favorite of the two.
Do you?
Really, really, really nice.
But the Troll has a cushion.
The Troll does have a cushion, but
no, the Ballista is.
No, I think the Ballista is my favorite of the two.
What I'd say is that it's a very. So I always like monsters and stuff. So that's why I say the Troll. But for me, though, it's the Ballista's unlucky it's gone against the Troll, in my opinion, of which one do I think is cooler. Because against most things, the Chariot for Stormcast is really cool, but obviously not on the same level.
I'm not gonna lie though. I think if you had a 36-inch head start, I think the Ballista's gonna win.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. And when people are saying I don't know why they've got they live in a swamp. Why do they have all this shooting? Because I get ambushes
down in a swamp.
Fun?
If you gotta run up and hit someone in a swamp, or you can stand on a platform and shoot them across the swamp. I know which I'd do.
Yeah, exactly. And also, surely, there's roads going through these swamps or trade routes and stuff, and then they can just set up ambushes.
Yeah.
Because like you say, obviously it's hard to maneuver through a swamp, especially if you have to go off the path. And if there's some, a guy with a crossbow on a rock off the path, and you have to go 20 meters through swampland to try and get him before he shoots you to death, you're kind of buggered.
I want to know if we're going to get more naked mole rat cavalry.
I have to. There's a lot of comments I have to respond to. I haven't had much time, unfortunately, so I will be getting back to people's comments. If you haven't come to my videos lately, I'll be doing that. Don't you very time soon. But I did glance. Someone did say it'd be cool if there was a dire wolf kind of unit for those naked roll.
That would be cool. Slightly smaller versions. Yeah, that would be interesting.
And something you can definitely imagine.
Definitely.
Realistically happening. Until Games Workshop goes, lol, that's all you're getting for that army. Buy the box sets multiple times. Oh, yeah, that's right, you can't. But, I think I just I was happy with that. And don't get me wrong, I haven't looked at that Cruel Boy stuff. And I'm like, oh my God, I've got to buy it. That's amazing. It's just because that box set's going to be really good value. That's the main time for me. But I'm looking at it, it's quite different. I'm just happy with the box set. It's just nice for destruction to get some stuff, I think.
Oh, definitely. I mean, a sensible person could have seen it coming because, we had chaos, then we had death. The sensible logic was that it was going to be destruction next. But I'm glad they've gone with a new faction rather than Well, it's new and it's not, isn't it? It's a new sub faction ish.
Well, yeah. So the Orc Warclans book, there is like, as far as I'm aware, there's no allegiance called Orc Warclans.
Mm.
In that book, you have 3 allegiances: Iron Jaws, Bone Splitters, and Big War.
I want to know whether you'll be able to bring the new orcs into Big War.
You should be able to.
Yeah.
Not, like, you might not be able to, but like if it's following the same theme, you should be able to.
Yeah.
Well, obviously, don't know if that's going to be the case, but we'll. It does hint though
don't
that.
quote you on that, but yeah.
Yeah. It does hint though that there will be an Orc Warclans new battle tome coming.
Definitely.
Like within like a month, that there'll be a new one.
Yeah.
And it kind of feels like, oh, but the other one came out only a couple of years ago. It's like, well, Slaanesh got a new one.
Slaanesh got a new one. Luminef got a second one within 6 months.
Yeah,
Max and I were discussing that lately. Luminef came out 2 months ago, so we're only 4 months off the new quarterly Luminef release.
No, because Games Workshop would give us warning if they were going to do that again, wouldn't they?
Good night, Arnold.
I'm going to Thursday. Good night, mate. Thank you very much for watching the video. Thank you very much for your very kind donation stuff throughout the video. It was really, really nice.
What else have people been saying? We've got top 10 models of 2nd edition AOS and why they're all Kratos.
Yeah, that's
Caracross. Oh my god, I can't pronounce his name. Yeah, Catacross, that's the one.
One of the names I can pronounce. Yeah, that is an interesting thing. We can look into that.
Warhard got a decent buff in the Kragnos book. I want to know what happened in the lore in the Kragnos book. To be fair, I've not even looked at. I wonder
what happened in the lore of the last 3 books. No.
Yeah,
I know.
I want to know what happened in the lore in Be'lakor as well, because apparently that was quite big, and I'm like, I feel like I've missed out here.
I'll give you advice. Go watch 2+ Tufts videos.
That's fair.
That's the biggest advice I can give you. For anyone who missed out and anyone's like, oh, I just want to sort of catch up before the new edition, watch 2+ Tufts videos on the lore for Broken Realms. 100%. Very nice person.
Yasmin said, do a video on if you had to pick one army from each alliance, what would you pick?
Ostrich Bone Reapers. No, actually, no. Like, okay, let me make this into content first.
The Stormcast Chariot is firmly in the derp zone. Really? I thought it looked excellent.
Right. So I do like it. So my thoughts are plus for me. I do like it. However, 90% of how I like it is because of that Stormcast helmet.
I mean, that's fair enough. Yeah, I think it's a nice molding of the new and that real throwback to your classical, like your high elf chariots and your chaos chariots.
I kind of want that chariot to be overpowered, so it's like chariots are good again.
Oh, I'd love that. I want a new chariot meta. That'd be fantastic.
I mean, the Beast of Chaos would be like, this is our time.
Oh, that's the only one that doesn't get buffed, though.
Yeah.
Next is Tom saying, we'll no doubt get all the Crawl Boys, but definitely want the Trog first.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Pre-order the Crawl Boys in the box set first, though. That'll be
that would be a probably good recommendation.
May not have the options later.
Yeah. Robert said, as we were discussing the other day, can you imagine if they do a Cursed City to 3rd edition? It's like, oh, you didn't buy the box. Oh, well, you're not getting 3rd edition then, are you?
Oh, could you imagine? Okay, it's like, oh, what 3rd edition? Yeah, it was what 3rd edition?
Yeah,
that's the thing. So,
I wouldn't be
another game. Oh, that's weird. Oh, yeah, we'll talk about
I wouldn't be too mad because I do really like 2nd edition. I think it's been an excellent set of rules.
Right. The only reason why we're getting this edition is because they want to make more money on a rule book. Like that's the main reason.
The problem is they worked out they've made too good an edition. I don't think there is much that needs changing.
Like the point where they when they line out the great changes in the 3rd edition and the points are it's the best edition ever. It's like you got to start asking yourself questions. Like,
yeah.
Should we get the video up again?
Oh God, we gotta watch that again. Don't make me go through it. Oh,
it's not cringy. It's characterful.
Keep telling yourself that.
Well, poor Nick.
What's next? Robert has said Troll just love. I do love both. hoping for more monsters from the swamp in this army, like a swampy wyvern. Oh, that would be cool.
That would be Games Workshop would write that down.
yeah. Get on that. I fully support that. A nice swampy dragon would be awesome.
Yeah, I really like.
And we haven't got anything sort of dragony for destruction.
Morgasts.
Yeah, true. No, there is a Morgasts.
That's like the new.
I always forget that's a dragon-like creature. It's so it's so big.
I remember when that came out, and people were like, "What do you mean it can fly? Because it argues with gravity. That's stupid." It's like, no, this is not the game for you.
yeah, really not.
But yeah, that would be really cool. I'd love that because I like it was just like the Wyvern. It's a great model, and it's got like the old model and stuff. It's a great model, and it's got like that like little pot belly and all that. Do you know what I mean? It just feels orky.
Yeah. Oh no. Yeah, definitely. JDog40K has said, "Are Soul Blight Raid Lords competitive, and how do they stack up?"
Right,
it's a little early to tell, but
it's too early to tell. But they're not in the top 5 most competitive armies. They're not the worst army. They fit in the fat middle.
They're B tier, really, aren't they?
Yeah. They're like, I'm not going to get into what a tier is and what not because everyone has different opinions. But we look at it as you've got the bottom, the middle, and the top. They are in the middle, and a lot of people. Well, okay, no, not a lot of people. A lot of loud people have said that they're the bottom of the middle, or they're the bottom of the bottom, and like basically GW might as well shot me in the head with a shotgun because that would have been less painful. Basically, they're in the middle of the middle, and I think they could be the top in the middle. I think I think with experience, there's a lot of like secret synergy and stuff in that book. That's my thoughts about. I haven't played with the new book yet, so like. Take that as you will.
I mean, you've not taken it out of the shrink wrap yet, so.
Well, I really haven't. And that's not like I've had it for a week. Like it's literally just turned up.
Yeah.
Which is sometimes what happens when you pre-order from third parties.
Yes. What's next? Ben saying, "Well, shooting into a swamp was essentially the British tactic at Agincourt." Very true.
That very is true. Who won that one, Luke? Luke's like French, if no one knows.
I'll have to check my notes on that one. I think we won. Well, we lost the battle, won the war. One of those.
Well, yeah, but the film ended after the battle. there was I don't know if you saw the net. Like, I imagine. So Luke's a historian. So as a historian, imagine you can like tell all the things that aren't historically accurate, obviously, but like
I'm expecting a message coming in from Yasmin in a second, but she refuses to watch movies with me, for the most part, because I sit there and just pick them apart. She can't.
Well, that never happened. Shut up. Just like Luke, you don't understand. It's like she says to you, like, Luke, it's either if you say one more thing, that's it, we're over. It's like, okay. It's just like that's not how chainmail works.
She's just come in and said she refuses to watch historical movies with me.
Brilliant, yeah. I mean, by the sounds of things, I would as well. But what we got? Thanks for reading these out and stuff, because we've got so many lovely people chatting. And Stence is saying, "Good night, all. I am off to bed." Well, good night, mate. Thank you very much for watching. Hope you're well, and we'll catch you next time. Because I'll be, as you know, I've done a few of these live things lately. We'll be doing more because it will come into the end of second edition now. And like I say, I'm not making any tactic videos until third edition because I don't want it to become irrelevant basically as soon as third edition comes out. Because I want to make content that's most helpful for you guys. But it's been quite nice doing this like engagement stuff. To be honest, engaging stuff, I should say. Catch up with you guys and stuff. You guys to ask us questions.
What's next? Tom saying, "I'm seeing some people saying there will be an exclusive Crawl Boys battle tome, and others saying there'll be a new Uruk War Clans battle book with them. What do you two guys think? New Uruk War Clans."
Yeah, they said they're part of the Uruk War Clans. If they didn't mention that in the article, I'd probably say, "Oh yeah, they'll get their own battle tome," because they mentioned it in the article. It should be a new Uruk War Clans, and then they sort of like kill 3 birds with one stone, don't they?
Yeah.
With that as well.
Tom just saying he meant that he'd be pre-ordering the Trog after the battle box, main box, possibly the same weekend. J-Dog saying, awesome, I bought the Crimson Court because the models are gorgeous, contemplating a full army. How are they? How would you go about fitting them into an army? Because I've always found it weird trying to work a war, one of the Underworlds things into an army.
Oh, I remember the Warhammer being alright. Like, it's not like, because a lot of the Underworld stuff into painting Underworld as well. So, like, I had my first game yesterday, great game. Really enjoyed it. But Underworld, a lot of that stuff in Age of Sigma is just shit. That's my opinion. But there is, like, out of the 100% of Underworld stuff you can take into Age of Sigma, 20% of it is all right. And then, like, there's a 5% that's actually good, or 10% that's good. And I think that Crimson Court is one of them, from what my memory is. Like, if you were to ask, like, is it the most effective way to spend your points in the army? I don't know, but it's got some use. I think it's got a spell that you put on an enemy unit and you +1 to hit it. I read the War Scroll a long time ago, so I think it does that. Something like that. It has a spell that against an enemy unit that makes your rest of your army better against the enemy unit, I think.
Sounds good.
Yeah, so so there you go. I mean, the Crimson Keep is Crimson Court. There is a Crimson Keep there as well in that book. But the Crimson Court is something that I will be buying at some point when it becomes available again. Because I want it for Warhammer on the box, of course, but just awesome models. And you get 4 Vampire Lords in that box.
Yeah. Stence saying, good night, I'm off to bed. No, it wasn't that long ago. Catch you later. And then Ratel saying, thanks for a great chat, chaps. All your help. See you next chat. Take care. Have a good one.
You're very welcome, man. Glad
and Skeption just saying, I just filled 1 or 2 models. I like most out of the core as standalone Vampire Lords, which is sort of what you were just saying.
Yeah. The only thing I'd say, I don't know what base sizes they come in that Underworld's box. And Vampire Lords are now on 40 mil bases, not 32, I think. That's something to point out.
Keep an eye on your base sizes.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, if it was against me, I wouldn't really care.
No.
And if you're giving yourself a smaller size base, it's probably making you worse off anyway. But obviously, tournaments and all that, I mean, Harp and Flesh at a core army doesn't work if I have to use real base sizes because I built it before. You had to. What size bases you Vargolf? Well, because it's eating an actual horse, he is on, 2 sizes too high.
1 second. Someone is at my door. Sorry about that.
It's all right.
J-Dog saying he's just planning to run the Velas von Fine as a generic Vampire Lord. So yeah, I've seen quite a few people saying that they're wanting to run them sort of basically as just generics.
Yeah. And like, especially if you're not a fan of the actual new Vampire Lord, it makes that sense. You haven't got old ones, but also like what I say is I've seen so many just like helmet head changes for the new Vampire Lord with the and the hair, and then it sorts out any problem.
I've seen a lot of people using the a lot of Nighthaunt helmets.
Yeah, and do you know I've also seen people use because you get extra helmets, which might be
one out of the Vampire Lord. Zombie Dragon.
The Blood Knights.
Looks really well. Yeah, I wouldn't. Somehow I wouldn't have thought of that.
Yeah, no, like, and then I was thinking like, the Knight of Shroud head or something with his helmet.
Yeah.
And then like I saw someone do it online with the Blood Knights, and it almost looks like it. The bat wings on the helmet just aren't as big, and it's like that's a lot easier way to do it. And then Seption is saying that you can use spacer rings to the bases. Yeah, you can do. There are, there's loads of options out there, isn't there? And then Stardog is saying, what is going on, guys? I'm on vacation in St. What's that place, Luke?
St. Augustine in Florida.
Oh, lovely. And thought I would stop by and show some love. What are you working on, Age and Nagash? Well, thank you very much. Nice of you to join in. Star Dog, a regular viewer of the channel. So nice to have you here. I hope your holiday is going well. I am painting the Sinesh guys for the Warhammer Underworlds box set. So this is just like an archer I'm working on. Like, again, the picture quality is terrible on this webcam. I can't even guide the bloody model right. But this is, oh God, this is awful. My hand-to-eye coordination is almost like interesting to try and figure out how it works. But so I'm working on my Sinesh Warband. As I played my first game Warhammer Underworlds yesterday, it was good fun. We'll be playing more games. And that is what I'm working on. Race, I'm not the fastest painter anyway, and then when I do hobby hangouts, I paint very slowly. But we're nearly going to get this model done at some point in the week. So that's what I'm up to. And then Luke is painting some Space Marines, which is cool. So he's painting Stormcast Eternals, themed as the Settlers game, which is a Sigmar army that is in the Breaking Realm Techless book. So that's what we're working on.
You can still take it in 3rd edition.
Yeah, I honestly think a lot of those books are going to be irrelevant. That's why I didn't buy many. But hopefully, you never know. Games Workshop may be kind. Maybe. Who knows?
Well, can you still take Legion of Grief?
I think so. There's been like 3 FAQs about it. I think you can.
Cool.
Someone who knows.
As long as that stays with us, then I feel like you'll be able to take a city.
But the city's abilities that are in Firestorm campaign are no longer a thing. You weren't even here for that, were you?
No, that was way before me.
It was way before the Cities of Sigmar were a thing.
To be fair, they've spoken quite a bit about cities. I think they're really going to double down on Cities of Sigmar in the next edition, which I think is a really interesting. It's not where I thought they'd have gone. I'd have thought they were going to make cities and be like, yeah, cool, be happy that you still get to use your models.
Yeah, it'd just be nice to see releases and stuff, won't it, for them?
Mm-hmm.
They do deserve it, really. It's been a long time. And it's a shame they didn't make the most out of the Heroes for Warhammer Quest Underworlds. Not Underworlds, Warhammer Quest Cursed City. That's on the screen right now. It's a shame they didn't do that, but here we are. It's all good fun, isn't it? With that. So here's a question I'll ask everyone who's watching this, as it did come up earlier. If you could have one army for each Grand Alliance, what would you have and why would you have it? So if anyone wants to answer that question, you can put it in. I'll do mine maybe in a future video or something, so I won't say mine. But what would you have, Luke, if you could have an army for every Grand Alliance?
Okie dokie. So Order would be Cities of Sigmar, because I already have it. And I do enjoy it. I think it's such a nice varied faction, and you could play the same city and build a completely different army each time you play. It's very adaptable. So yeah, for Order I'd go Cities of Sigmar.
Nice.
For Destruction I would go Beast Claw Raiders, because I think they're a really nice, fun, and surprisingly strong faction. I think they're underrated by quite a few people.
Yeah. I think you're right now.
For Death, I think I'd go OBR, so Ossiarch Bone Reapers.
Would you?
I'm a big fan of Arkham, sort of his lore and everything. And I think just the models are really nice. I'd consider some White Grave Lords, but for me, like, they're a little disjointed in their themes. Just in, you've got the skeletons, which look really cool Ottoman theme, but then the Black Knights, because they're still using the old models, don't, and then the zombies don't look like that either. I like my armies to have a lot more solid theme about them.
and I don't know, they just feel a tad disjointed to me. So yeah, and I think I'd go OBR.
That's fair enough. There's lots of different. A lot of the only one of the sub allegiances in Ostrich Bone Reapers is not very useful. So you've got, I think you've got 5 sub allegiances that make the army play differently.
Yeah.
Which is
and then Chaos is the one I always struggle with.
Chaos Dwarves.
But yeah, I was going to say it'd have to be Chaos Dwarves, particularly as there is a lot of rumors bandering around right now about a possible new release of Chaos Dwarves. I think Ben was talking about it earlier. It's the Furnace Kings is what they're possibly being rebranded as.
I like when they went off Forge World. I don't really think that they would go it's 50-50. I thought maybe they're just getting rid of them, but I did think like maybe it's just a way to bring them out in plastic for GW.
I hope they double down on the artillery for them, because I'd love to see a fully focused like artillery faction. That'd be a really interesting,
especially for Chaos.
Yeah, fully ranged focused Chaos army would be fantastic. I'd really love to see that. Sorry?
That's not Clan Squire.
Yeah, I mean, who really counts Skaven?
That's just rude. You weren't saying that when you went against the almightiest Clan Moulder army.
You played it once.
And I did the best that anyone's ever done with Clan Moulder. You played it once and never again.
I mean, that's the best way to get 100% win ratio.
Exactly. That's the main reason people go through armies really quickly. And the only person who only plays one army is because they consistently lose with it, so they just wait for that one day they win. To get the ratio back up.
I mean, I do remember you slowly ploughing your way through all the different clans,
trying to get a game in with every clan. Did you manage to do it in the end, or was there still one you didn't play with?
I only did it with. I played. Right, so I played like Clan Scryer, Clan Moulder, and then I did like a heavy Clan Verminous one, which is all about the Clan Rats and Storm Vermin.
Yeah.
That technically is mixed, and then the only ones I did. So I did Clan Moulder, Clan Scryer, and then mixed Skaven.
Okay.
Like Master Clan led basically on that one. So I didn't do Eshin, Pestilence, or Vermin. The Verminous is just mixed basically. There's no reason why you wouldn't. Eshin was like this guy in the Discord called Alex. He's a very good Age of Sigmar player, and I was always trying to wind him up because I was saying I got this secret meta with like a clan Eshin list that secretly doesn't exist because it wouldn't work. And then I made him at the end of one of our games that I think he beat me. I made him reenact what could happen if everything went well with this clan Eshin list. And I was rolling like 200 dice on TTS trying to get 5s and 5s or something. And
it still didn't work.
Alex was just questioning what the hell was going on and why he was having to roll these defense dice. And then at the end of it, there was just things like, I think, the throw-in star for the like big Skaven Vermin Lord.
Yeah.
I think like it does D3 damage, but if it's against a monster, maybe D6 or no, a unit of 10 or more models, D6 damage.
Yeah.
And just going to the hit and wound, it's like, and then obviously it's against a unit of 10 or more, so it'll be D6 damage. And it's just like all these obvious things going right. And then like I had abilities that gave me like reroll 1s to hit or like +1 to hit or something like that. And then I was giving it to like all 200 of my rats. And Alex is like, but how are they all going to be within 12 inches of like your one character? It's like, shut up, that doesn't matter. Just roll the bloody dice. Then like they did like 20 damage. It's pretty cool. After all of that, so many things had to go well to do that as well.
Thinking of things going well, in my game against Mac today, he was playing his Luminef, and he brought triple foxes. And you know what? Those things are horrible. I really don't like fighting against those because they every time they move near one of your units, they do mortal wounds to you. But they can move in your shooting phase as well.
It's just like inches or something.
Yeah, and they're moving absolutely everywhere. It's just it was horrible. I won the game, but it was just because we were playing Taken Hold, and it was like, you have left 1 unit of Wardens on your objective, and I will charge my unit of 4 Mornfang, and I won. There you go.
Simple as.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like I haven't played against Lumineth since they had the new release, but it's like my feelings of those foxes, and I'm sure in the game they're not as bad, you know, as it's made out in terms of how annoying they are. But it sounds like no, they are as annoying as.
No, they are really quite annoying.
And then they have this whole thing where they move like 72 inches, then they just go up and go, oh, what, your Bone-Tied Nexus train feature for the Ostrich Bone Reapers, or whatever train feature you've got. It's like, yeah, that's gone now.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But you painted it. I would actually prefer if you removed it from the table as well. It's all of that. So, we have then got a section in the chat saying you can currently feel Legion of Grief, but prospects are pretty bad for them sticking around in 3rd edition. So, yeah. Because they do like to tie everything up, don't they? Going into new editions and stuff. And the section is so for his lists, he says Ostrich Bone Reapers for Arcan, the Black, and Catacross, the Mortarch of the Necropolis. Fair enough reasons. And then IDNF, because I really liked your tribute video. Oh, that's cool. I'm glad. Do you like eels as well, out of interest? But no, the tribute video, like, I think the music, those tribute videos, like, they spent a while, like, because of like OCD, maybe I'm wild just trying to find the right exact music to find to represent the army, and like the one I did for the INF Deepkin was like a sort of like tragedy sort of music, but obviously like in epic music, but like tragedy stuff, because you know they have got a pretty rough father and child history basically. And then Gloons by Gits for fun and cartoony trolls and spiders. That's good enough a reason. And Chaos Dwarves for chaos.
Good lad.
For Doom Trains.
Yeah, no, I can see that. Going in on the artillery. Well done.
Exactly. So there we go. So that's cool. Thanks for letting us know, Section. And then we've got Ryan saying, my choices for each allegiance. Doors of Cain for Order. Heroes Snesh for Chaos. Sons of Behemoth for Destruction. And then Nighthaunt for Death. So 4 very different armies as well, which is quite cool. I could definitely see like the Daughters of Cain and the Hedonites definitely like facing off pretty well against each other. And then the Sons of Behemoth trying to stamp on ghosts and realizing it doesn't work. And then we've got Poet saying that his ones are Stormcast, Khorne, please Games Workshop, don't rip Slaves Darkness out of Khorne. Yeah, because they kind of did that Snesh. That really made me upset, and I think that's probably going to be how it's going forward, which God knows what reasons, because it's going to make people buy less Slaves Darkness models. And then you got the Flesh Eater Courts, which is they're always good. Their lore is fantastic, and they're on the screen right now, which is nice. And then you've got
I only see Bretonia.
Well, like you watch what comes up. Like,
I've seen it. Yeah.
The Bretonia. I mean, it's only on there for a second, but if you're quick, you'll catch it. And then Mixed Destruction, Grand Alliance, good stuff. I mean, you get the best of everything, I suppose. I mean, like, not the most competitive, but, you know, you get to play whatever models you want at the end of the day. And then you got Stardog saying Caesar Sigma, Flesh Eater Courts, Slaves of Darkness, and then Gloons by Gits. That's pretty cool.
If you do know, which city would you go for?
What city would you go for Stardog? Let us know that. And then you've got Ryan saying, my choices were all because of the same reason. Fun models of paint. There was a Cain here that's Snesh. Oh, I have to. He knows Snesh though. Not fun to paint at all. Like the Schlaxy Hellboy.
Like painting gems.
Awful. Over 200 gems on that thing. But they look awesome when they're done. Like, is what I'll say. And then we've got 40k saying Doors of Cain, Soul Black Gravelords, Slaves of Darkness, pardon me, and bloody yawning when I'm trying to read a sentence. And the new orcs, I guess. I'm not a huge fan of destruction models. Let's call that your out of all of them, like the one you're most preferred is the new one. So, like I said, I feel like it gives another avenue to destruction in terms of the type of armies they have. But no, that's good choices for you, Kay. Robert saying my choices: Chaos Nurgle, Order, Lumineth, Death, Soulblade Gravelords, and now Destruction Cruel Boys. And I also just want to say, I think Cruel Boys is quite a fun name, isn't it, for a faction? Like Iron Jaws.
Also, like all their unit titles are just very straight and to the point.
Yeah, because it's
What is it? It's a killer bug. Yep, no, that explains it.
Yeah, exactly. Iron Jaws. What are the jaws? Made of iron, right? Bone splitters. Do I need to say anything else? Gloomspite Gits. Well, you know when you have like Gits, like just like a Git. Yeah, but imagine it's like in the gloom light of the moon, but then they've got a lot of spite as well. And like it's very the sun's behemoth. Behemoth, and then they're the suns, so it's pretty straightforward. And then you've got like the Nighthorn, which is a bit more confusing. It's like, so do they only haunt the night? It's like, no, they're haunting the day as well. It's like, how is this making sense now? So destruction, very straightforward to the point. And then we've got Teflon Don. So does anyone play Stormcast Eternals? We have a poet who's already answered your question, I think. So it says, I have some good success with Stormcast Vanguard army. That's cool because I don't really see too many people playing with Vanguard, so that's nice. It's all the Vanguard hunters and the to be fair, long strikes and stuff came out with them as well. Poet saying I play a good amount of Dungeons and Dragons, and I ran a 2-year campaign that was mainly against orcs and stuff. So I ended up with a pretty cool about 1,250 mixed destruction. That makes sense how you would get it. So yeah, I get you. That's a lot of destruction. You managed to. I didn't realize D&D had that many models used. You managed to clock while playing D&D for 2 years. 1,250 points of destruction models, which is pretty cool.
A lot of destruction, yeah.
That's a lot of epic D&D going on then, clearly. And then Poe also saying, as a reply to Don, that he has got 6,500 Stormcast models. Whichever game someday, Poet, your Stormcasters versus my death, and if I lose, I will never tell anyone. Would be great. And Don saying, wow, it's a lot. Do you have any suggestions to make a shootcast line for Stormcast? I have Aquila as my general. I'm sure Poet or the internet does have that because I know shootcast is popular for the Stormcast. And then you've got Tom saying for his 4 armies, Slaves to Darkness, Orcs or Gits, if they make it so a soup Gits list would work well. A soup, what is that? Oh, is that a mixture?
It means when you join all the ones together, yeah.
Yeah, they need to fix the keyword problem really for synergy for the Gits by Gits. And then you've got Soulblade Gravelords, more actual vampires first time, which fair enough. You can go the Blood Knight sub-allegiances, works well for that. And then you've got KO or INF Deacon, wouldn't play it either, but they look awesome, which is true. That's fair enough. Right, guys, so I'm going to end the video in probably about a minute. Just in case there's anyone else got any other questions, put your questions down below before I end it. Just because it's gone on for an hour and 3/4, which is long enough because these things can end up going on for a very long time. And I have now put 3 brushstrokes onto my model, so that's pretty cool. Pretty pleased myself. Are you actually fully complete? Bloody hell. That is good though. Well done. Well done. I know everyone, if I cut off and stuff before you manage to finish it, put in the comments what you painted during this video, and if you can, let me know in the chat as well. Tom saying, yeah, I want spires, trogs, squigs, and Gits all together. I mean, ideally that would just be the lovely thing, wouldn't it? For them to have, because that's how you feel like the army should be, and they make it look like it should all work together. Poet saying, if you already have some Vargolf some Vanguard stuff to get some long strikes and doggos. If you want something new, go to the Soul Wars half of the Stormcast and get the Orinator and extra 2 blisters for the Shootcast or listing for the Stormcast Eternals. And then you got 40k saying, cheers to the stream, guys. Been a good painting session. Glad to hear it. Even if I don't paint a lot, I'm glad I managed to help you guys paint a lot. At the end of the day, that's what this is all about. But it's quite, I find a lot these days, you sort of like spend your whole day running around doing things, and it's quite nice to just sit, do some hobby, or just talk some hobby just for a while, sort of take yourself away from like sort of the real world, isn't it? So it's quite nice to do that for like an hour and 40, so that's cool. And then so I'm glad you enjoyed it, 40k. And then Ryan is saying, I have just subscribed and I will check out more of your vids. Oh, that's very good to hear that. This is like the least quality kind of video. There are videos out there that have had hours put into them, not just an hour and 45 minutes. But no, basically, Ryan, if you are new to this sort of stuff, I do like why play videos for every army. I do how to start collecting videos for all the armies, so reviewing start collecting boxes, of course, just saying how you should start buying models and collecting those armies. I do long in-depth army reviews. Like I've done a lot of reviews where on an army where it's anywhere between 10 to 20 hours worth. So if you like long in-depth videos, but it's like kind of feel like a podcast where I go through every single aspect of the army, no stone unturned. Go check that sort of stuff out. Tributes, loads of videos, lots of news videos lately, I should add, and lots of other stuff with that. So yeah, that is that. And I'd just like to say, if you did enjoy this video, something that I would really appreciate if you could do for me is absolutely smash the hell out of that like button. That would be amazing. If you could smash the bell notification as well and the subscribe button. Why am I asking you to press these 3 buttons? Because by pressing those 3 buttons, massively helps out the channel. By liking the video, encourages me to do more of these sort of videos. And because especially how these live videos are very new for me to do on the channel, I heavily look at the like ratio and see if you guys would like me to do more of these stuff. So smash the like button. Also helps the channel out on YouTube for YouTube to try and recommend this video to more people because they see people like it. Subscribe to the channel is the way how the channel grows. At the end of the day, we're getting closer and closer and closer to 6,000 one day. So that'll be really, really cool for subscribers. And pressing the bell notification means that you'll never miss a future video. So be it a case of another chance to hang out and do some hobby and all that sort of thing, or like the news I'm covering, so you can hear it right away from myself, or all the other series and stuff I'm doing as well. And it massively helps out the channel to do so. And like I always say, I'll subscribe and stuff. Only like a fifth of people who watch my stuff subscribe. So if you haven't subscribed, it make a huge, massive difference. Well, I would really, really appreciate that. And then I do, of course, want to say that another way you can massively support the channel is through a Patreon and YouTube membership. So what do those things mean? So YouTube membership is essentially a way for you to help out the channel by clicking the join button next to the subscribe button. It will allow you to become a member here in Agent of Nagash, where you can give anything from just £1 a month straight to the channel. Keeps me going. Like I always say, the amount of time, effort, resources, money and stuff that goes into doing a YouTube channel, you don't get any money back for anything like that. But what this does is it allows me to justify being able to do these videos, so I know these people are willing to support me on that much of a personal level. And similarly, I have got a link to my Patreon on top of the description down below. You can click where you can give anything from just $1 a month, goes straight towards keeping the channel and myself going. And I really massively appreciate that. And the people who made that decision, I do want to give them a shout out. We have got my biggest supporter, who is going to be my Vampire Lord on Zombie Dragon, who is going to be Filq. So thank you, Filq, for your massive support there. It makes a huge difference, and especially supporting that tier. Don't know what to say apart from every time, just thank you so much. It's really, really generous of you. My Morgasts, who is Bleed Red, so thank you so much for your very kind contributions. I know you've been a Morgast for a long time now. And then my Vampires, who are Mir, Martin S, Rouse321, Ronni H, Darren L, SpareBear, Christopher H, Northdrop, Nathan F, Stence, and Andrew G. Thank you so much for your continued support there. That really helps as well. Honestly, you guys make up a huge bulk of what I have for my Patreon. So thank you so much for that. And then for my Necromancers, I can't forget, because we have got Jacq.l, RadiationRiley, AW77, Dice Sagas, WolfNick, Michael W, Cranky Wombat, Christopher F, Christopher C, James S, Steve T, James T, Patrick F, JJ, Thomas B, and Madcap. And we have got someone else that I haven't got on the list right in front of me, because that is a very new one who has been in the chat as well, who is going to be Seption. So thank you so much, Seption, for deciding to become a Necromancer on my Patreon. Really does make a huge difference. And I hope you are enjoying the content, and it'll really might sound like a small thing, like $1 a month thing, but it just goes straight towards me being able to keep this up. So thank you so much for that. And thank you to everyone who has become a member on my YouTube channel, or who has become a patron. It makes a huge difference. And if you would like to be able to do that, or you could, please click the join button or the link to my Patreon down below, as it would make a huge difference. And I always give these people a shout, because really they deserve it at the end of all my videos, of course. And if you can't do any of that, guys, if you did enjoy the video, like, subscribe, and notification, smash the 3 buttons, free to do so. Really does help. More than anything else, I'm glad you came and checked out this video today. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you have a good rest of your day. Just also want to have a quick read, because we see Poets put some things. So it says, new record for one of these, have a $1. Thank you very much, Poet. Poet is an absolute legend. He's given a total of, I believe, $4.99 during this, which that's really generous, you Poet. So that's amazing. Thank you so much. We'll have to we had you on when we played Vermintide one day, but it was sort of like off the moment, so like you can join in again. But we'll have to get you on a stream sometime. That'd be really cool. And Arnold, if you're up for it as well. But with that aside, guys, I want to say a massive thank you to Luke as well for joining me in this video and doing some hobby. That's good. I'm glad that you managed to get some models done. And well, I say models, I mean singular.
Half a model.
That's half model that you wouldn't have done if it didn't. Well, maybe you would have made a bit more. Who knows? But anyway, cheers for joining me, and obviously on Saturday as well. Hope you have a good rest of your day, mate. Hope everyone else does as well, no matter what time it is. And with that aside, remember until next time to stay safe, stay hygienic, make sure that you wear a mask. For God's sake, wash your hands. And by the time everything you've been working on painting today, maybe you'll be able to play on the tabletop sometime soon, would be amazing. And then beyond any of that, remember, more importantly, till next time, that Nagash is all, and all is one in Nagash.
And now we get